The way I look at it, it's kind of a spectrum, whether you want to call it being engaged with industry or being engaged with clinical research. There's sort of the R&D, the research aspect of
Yeah.
things, and some people are really involved in conducting, executed, conceiving, investigator-initiated trials, or
Mm-hmm.
or working on IRBs. And then there's some people who don't really want to spend their time on that, but they want to either just talk about their experiences or just, let's say, just talk in general.
Yeah.
And then there's, I think, a healthy balance where people sort of straddle the middle line and they enjoy doing research, they conduct IITs, and then they go to the podium and they talk about it. And so, communication skills aside,
Yeah.
trying to be a good presenter, give an engaging presentation so people actually want to listen. What you were just discussing is more the data collection and the analysis aspect of things.
Right.
Was that something your dad was doing before you joined him? Were you naturally wanting to collect outcomes? Are you tracking these things internally to make internal improvements?
Yeah, a little bit of all those things. I think, our practice, my father did have a fair amount of experience in some of the early lenses and was constantly trying to track his data. For example, he was using Nidec laser and the Vizix laser. At the time, the Nidec laser was less expensive to operate, and so he wanted to make sure, were his results with the Nidec as good as the Vizix? So he wanted to internally track that, say, oh yeah, they're as good or maybe better. And so at that point, it paid off for him to then feel confident to reinvest in that technology. But also at the same time, Nidec would say, okay, well, gosh, Bob Wiley has this data. Let's sponsor him to present it at this meeting or whatever it might be. So we did have a bit of a culture for tracking results and within the practice. And once you have that system, just for your self edification to make sure you're providing the best possible care, if you have that culture of tracking the data, then you can use that not only for your practice but also to help industry or your colleagues understand what's really happening there.